Hi, this is Dr. Doug. I'm a wellness coach and a fitness trainer. Please subscribe to my channel. It helps a great deal. I want to talk today about arthritis. First, let's talk about what it isn't. It's not a lifetime sentence. Most of it can be cured with a lot of work. And second, the cause is not old age. Old age is used to excuse all kinds of problems in older people. These are problems that were never addressed adequately in the beginning when they first came up. They were just allowed to continue to fester and get worse and worse by using drugs and surgery and even holistic methods. Well, not holistic, but safe methods like acupuncture and herbology and chiropractic, just to keep things going and keep you going and not really address the root causes. And then they become big problems. When you get older, little problems have become big problems. And they say, well, that's old age. No, it's not. We're designed to live to be 120 years. So anything short of 119 years is not old age. It's just lack of awareness and poor medical treatment. All right, arthritis. Anything with itis means inflammation. That's heat. That's a Chinese concept, excess interior heat. It's very destructive. Now, we're warm-blooded animals, and heat is a good thing. But too much heat is not a good thing, is it? Too much of anything isn't a good thing. We would call this excess yang, itis, right? And so what are the root causes of this? Okay. And by the way, let me add one more thing here. It can affect any joint in the body. Arthritis, inflammation of the joint, any joint, the vertebral joints, right? The elbow joints, the wrist joints, the knee joints, the hip joints, the whatever joints, where two bones are connected, that's a joint, and that can become inflamed. And when it does, they call that arthritis. Right, now there are two major varieties of arthritis. There's rheumatoid arthritis and osteoarthritis. Rheumatoid arthritis means yang, excess. It's all about heat. Osteoarthritis is about yin, excess yin, which means excess material. There's reasons for that too. We'll get into that too. Okay. Let me put this up on the screen. There's a picture of autoimmune. And you can see right down the line here that every single one of these names practically is an itis, isn't it? They're all itises. That means what? That means heat. That's heat. So, and as that heat increases, it starts burning tissue. You see, that's autoimmune. It's so busy. The person is so busy. There's a person who doesn't like sleep, thinks sleep's a waste of time, hurries through life, scurries through life, runs fast, does everything fast, multitasking, usually owning a lot of stuff, being very successful, lots of applause. Yay, what a wonderful person, and dies young from an autoimmune disease because they can be quite serious. Well, in the beginning, they can just be inflamed in a joint inflammation, anywhere. But, of course, heat loves to rise, and so it will tend to rise up into the upper extremities. It can be very dangerous in the head, blindness, paralysis, deafness, all kinds of bad stuff into the chest, things like that, the throat. Yeah, but it can also go up into the hands. I'm going to show you a picture here of arthritic hands. Often they're red and thin. This person is usually thin because they're just burning off everything. But these get gnarly and everything because the cartilage in between the finger joints is burnt, and it's not holding the joints, the fingers, the way they're supposed to be held. It's very painful and disabling. Well, that does it for rheumatoid arthritis. Now let's talk about, and of course, what's the answer? Well, one answer will be in about 8 years, stem cell therapy to rebuild all that tissue that's been burned away. But that's not even the cure. If the person doesn't stop all this burning and all this insane busyness, it's going to come right back. So people have to change their habits in order to get cures, in order to find the root causes and address them. And that's what a wellness coach does. Wellness coach helps you locate those original causes, those deep roots, and fix them. Don't let them go. Don't cover them up with something else. By the way, speaking about covering up, I want to put in a plug for acupuncture for all kinds of arthritis. It's not a cover-up. It's a relief of pain, but it relieves pain by getting the stagnation moving. All pain is stagnation, and it really gets things moving in joints. So it helps the healing process. It's not just a cover-up. I do recommend that you get some acupuncture if you have arthritis. Okay? But in conjunction with that, let's do some wellness coaching. Osteoarthritis, here I'll put a picture up on the screen for osteoarthritis. This is excess yin. Now, this is a little more complicated to explain, but it's not impossible. Because someone has been grinding and grinding and grinding. See, joints are very primitive, you might say, and there are more advanced joints and more primitive joints. You take something like the knee, that's a very primitive joint, and it only operates in one direction. But if you operate that in a different direction, if you stick your foot out and you stick your foot in and you keep stepping on it the same way, the knee is not designed to handle that. See? It's going to start complaining. It's going to start wearing away certain amount of cartilage. So if you walk with your foot inverted, for example, sticking inward, that inside cartilage is going to get worn away. So how does the knee maintain stability? By building up bone spurs to take the place of the burning up cartilage, of the cartilage that's being destroyed, so that the knee can have some kind of stability and you continue walking. Or shoulder, hip, all of it, all joints are susceptible to osteoporosis due to poor, well, let's call it ergonomics. I mean, there's a right way to run and a couple of unhealthy ways to run. There's a right way to walk and several unhealthy ways to walk. There's good posture and bad posture. Good posture is absolutely necessary if you want to have a healthy spine. And if you want to avoid arthritis in the vertebra, you need to have tall, strong posture at all times. So that's very common, especially in older people who've been hunched forward all their lives, like this on a phone or something. And they've got a hump. By the time they're 70, they've got a hump. Well, what's the cause of that? Oh, it's old age. No, it's because that was never corrected. That posture was never corrected. And it just got worse and worse. Why is this person like this? Because that osteo, the bone, osteo means bone, that new bone, that bone spur is holding her up, or him up, holding that person up. Otherwise, they just fall. Right? And it's not natural. It's all very painful. Well, acupuncture can help with that. But in order to really cure that, you've got to start standing correctly. You've got to start walking correctly. You've got to start sitting correctly. You know, ergonomics, get back to repetitive, incorrect movement. Keeps grinding and grinding in the same place. You're going to burn out that connective tissue and have a problem. Right. Now, one thing that adds to the problem of osteoporosis is overweight. So there's a high correlation between obesity and osteoporosis, but it's mainly because of this excess weight pressing down on poor ergonomics creates a worse problem. Lots of weight makes it all worse. If you have this kind of problem, I recommend you get some kind of a brace. There's braces for spines, there's braces for knees, there's braces for hips. You've got to walk correctly and not walk like this or walk like that. Every foot down on the ground has to be straight. And that's what a good brace will do on your knee, on your hip, or wherever. Especially with stabilizers on the side, because you can't allow your knee to gyrate out like this. It wants to, you know. It wants to go out like that because it's used to stepping like that. You can't allow that. You will find improvement in a very short time if you do that. And I can help you with that, of course. Well, that's a complicated subject. Trying to make it simple. It's also a very painful subject. A lot of knee replacements, a lot of hip replacements could be avoided. I know they're getting better and better at that, but still, they're not really where they will be in the mid-30s with synthetic parts. That'll be mind-blowing, but they're primitive right now. So I recommend that you do it the right way and start walking and sitting and standing and kicking and throwing and everything else the natural way. Because the natural way, you won't get injured. The unnatural way, you will get injured. So there we have it. Arthritis explained. This is Dr. Doug for Body Trust. Do not forget to subscribe. See you next time.